everybody out there in YouTube land. Today's video is about a power steering pump. And don't let this car fool you. It is a 61 Lincoln Continental Suicide 4-door. But I put a 1989 Grand Marquis engine transmission in there. It's not even the same rear end. That came out of a 97 Ford Explorer. But I had to pull out the power steering pump for the second time. It seems I'm on that kick doing it twice. Hopefully the third pump will be a good one. And I took the liberty of taking it out, and it's out, but I wanted to show what it looked like and the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, because of the fact that it's not in that 89 Grand Marquis, and it's the same engine, I believe, other than the plenum being changed, and the Mustangs of the same year with a 5.0. So here is the power steering pump without the pulley on, and I did hopefully drain it all out. Yep, it's draining the rest of it now, and it's clean. And even I know you don't get a new cap with it, so I set that aside. Let's see if I tip it upside. Here we go. That's even better. Make sure it's all out, because there is a core charge exchange. I think it's only $7 for commercial. In some places it's like $17. The average price will run you, in this case it's costing me $63, and then plus tax. And then some of the other places that I deal with wanted closer to $80 plus the core charge, which is a little more. Every place is going to be a little different. So this is coming from Ireland, I should say O'Reilly's. Yeah, that's where this one's going to come from. And here is the actual pulley that you see. Actually, I can take this off now. I was able to sneak the puller in there to make it a little easier to get at the 3 bolts that are directly behind the pulley. And what I plan on doing is actually putting 3 equal size holes in a triangle form to match the bolt pattern that is on the pump. I don't know why they didn't do that. Some cars have that. I should say some manufacturers have that, but this one don't. Because if I have to change it again, and especially when I go to put it on, it just makes it a whole lot easier. So I'm going to show you the underneath of the hood, because it's obviously not the same as a Mustang or a 89 Grand Marquis. And I'll give you the description of what you're going to see. So this way, if you have a similar, some guys have put LS's in their Lincolns, whether convertible or 2-door. I don't feel that that is the proper thing to do, and though the plenum is covered by the rag there. But down here is where the pump goes. So because I have the same radiator that came out of that particular car, I had to make some changes and do some altering and so forth to put the radiator in, the one that belonged with the engine, and 2 electric fans. So with this being able to go back a little bit, like I made it happen, I was able to get the pump off in there. Not very comfortable, it's not awkward, but I want to be able to actually put the pulley on the pump before I actually install it in where the bracket of where it goes. So that is my plan. As you can see, it's definitely not the engine that came back in 1961, and it does have an operating and functional AC system. And I ended up putting the battery back there, mounting it on top of the transmission. I made my own custom brackets. The battery belonged over there where the AC pump is, but you wouldn't have the room to put the battery there because of the AC pump. And you want AC in these cars. So it was better, and because I had the room, it worked out just fine to be right where it's at. One of these days, I'll tighten up these hoses and stuff. There's a lot of vacuum stuff on this car that is needed to function some of the things. And the next thing I'm going to be changing is actually the power booster. That one has a vacuum leak. I have another one, hopefully, that could replace that, because to find one for a 61 Lincoln, I found I can't find one. Maybe they exist, but I couldn't find it. So I believe I got something that will work in there based on diameter and its function, and hopefully it will work, and we'll find out. But in the meantime, stand by, because now I'm going to go to O'Reilly's and exchange the pump and come back and put it in, and I'll take you along. So stand by. All right, I'm back, and I took the liberty of putting marks on the pulley for the 3 bolts. I also went and drilled a hole big enough for the socket that's required with the flange bolts. The bolt has a hex head, but with the flange on it, which is fine because it ends up being the same diameter as this 17 millimeter socket. See, same thing. So you only need to drill 1 hole. And if you have one of those stepped drill bits, which I like, I've mentioned that before, they look like this. The other one I left in the drill press. It's longer, but it'll work out perfect. It really did. And I took it just smidgen bigger, just to make sure I had a fair amount of room. It did not interfere with anything, nothing on the belt side here, nothing at all. And this then, if you ever had to change it again, because this is a manufactured pump, it's not a brand new one. Brand new one is, by the time you're done with tax, $240, $250, could be a little bit more, and nobody wants to spend that kind of money. So you bring them the core, they give you reman, and it said a limited lifetime warranty. Good enough for me. I made a copy of the receipt and I put it in the glove compartment of the vehicle. And now I can actually press this on and put it in, because it's not, the receiver, the bracket does not go all the way around. It has an opening at the bottom. So if you do that, then you can comfortably put this on outside of the vehicle and then slip this up in there and bolt it up. And, you can turn the pulley, to the designated spot to put the bolt in. So problem solved there. So just give me a second. I want to check something out just to verify my findings. Yep, it is open. It looks like it has 2.5 to 3 inch, 2.5 to 3 inch opening, like I said, at the bottom. Maybe I could show you. Maybe not. We'll see. Yeah, you can see it. I think that's roughly about 3.5 fingers. Well, the further I go in, solid 3 going across, fit. And before I actually put the pulley on all the way, I'm going to make sure that I can slip it up in there, because it is thin at the bottom and it just gets wider as it comes towards the top. And I want to make sure I'm not limited on my thoughts on putting that in. So just stand by for a second and let me test it. Yeah, it was to fit it in there. That transmission line. Yep. Let me see. I might remove the transmission line out of the way. It's the upper one. And I'm going to verify that I could do what I'm set out to do. Regardless, I'll still be able to put that on 3/4 of the way outside of the vehicle, which would be still a lot easier. Slip that up in there, and then I can finish tighten it with the socket with an extension and handle it. So that's the goal, to make it easier and not have to deal with the headache of trying to take the puller inside of the car, in front of the radiator, the popperability of poking a hole in it. Even in this case, I have the fan, so I wouldn't be able to poke a hole, but I'm limited on space. So stand by for a second and we'll check it out. Okay, I'm back, and I don't have it 100% installed, but I'm going to share some information with you so that hopefully it helps you. Okay, so what I ended up doing was I ended up installing it after setting the pump in place, but only putting the bolts halfway in, just halfway, so that I can kick the pump back further, which gave me, all right, I lost you there for a moment. The battery went dead already. Okay, here I am. So like I was saying, I only put the bolts in, the three of them halfway in, so that I can keep the pump back towards the exhaust manifolds on there, which gave me just enough room to use the tool to press on the pulley. And it does go on all the way, in case you didn't know. So now it's in there loose. I just put the coolant line back onto the radiator. And now I'm going to use the electric socket to, where are we at here? To put, if I can get my watch out of the way. Come on. I'm out of handicap here. Oh my Lord. What do we got going on here? Line these bad boys up. Now I can see it a little bit. That's not working out too well. Alrighty. One hole for 3 bolts. I'm trying to use this big tool. I can't see the bottom one. Oh, there we go. Alrighty. So next you'd have to do is hook up the 2 lines, obviously the return and the pressure side. Pressure side is actually on the top. The return is towards the bottom backside. And fill it up. I'm going to lift the car up, lift the car up off the ground enough to where I can, once I start it, I can freewheel the steering back and forth to run the air out of the system so it doesn't have a strain on it when I first start it. So that's pretty much going to be that, and you put the belt back on. That's easy enough. And the adjustment for that comes out of the alternator. No big deal there. So other than putting the right amount of, I like to use transmission fluid. I mentioned that in my other video that had to do with the 95 Dodge Cummins diesel power steering pump. It's just better. The regular power steering fluid, it's clear. It doesn't give the pump what it needs as far as a lubricant, where the transmission fluid does. So that's my take on that. And really, it's not that hard. I just that one hole just makes it a little bit easier, because then it allows you to push, at least at this point, keep the power steering back in a comfortable distance in order to get the tool on there to press the pulley back on. So that's the scoop. I appreciate people watching. Hopefully you'll subscribe if you haven't already. And the next video I'm going to be doing is going to be on this beautiful 57 Chevy. I've been putting it together piece by piece very carefully, and it's coming out just totally awesome. And I will be doing that'll be the next video, I believe. Yeah, so unless the coupe engine comes in, then I'll be doing that one first. But in the meantime, it does help when people do watch, subscribe, and all that other stuff that goes with it. You know the routine. But until the next time, get something done.